Yo, at what point in time, because, there were 5 people involved in the initial incident that led you to go to prison. Anytime somebody loses a life, right?
Right.
There's at what point in time do you face that and kind of come to peace? Like you said, you had empathy. You eventually ended up gaining empathy for what happened. Like
myself as a child.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, like it was a crime that had a victim. So at what point in time did you kind of like come to terms with the incident that night that changed your life forever?
I think I came to terms with that around 2002. In that window where, 02, I don't know how old I was by then. Maybe I hit 30 in 04. So yeah, I'm 28. So I'm old enough to have had that brain thing happen. And I'm old enough to know it happened because life doesn't look the same.
Right.
Colors don't look the same. Motherfuckers.
Yeah, once you hit a certain age, it's like you put a new pair of glasses on, you see the whole world different.
It really is. And I felt like going from 25 to 30 and then going from 30 to 35, 35 to 40, I've had these stages where life looked different. And so I had trying to reconcile that within myself. I did a total of 9 years in solitary confinement over making music, getting locked up 3 years here, 2 years here, bus therapy, transferring me. I get off the bus.
And that's when it's just you and your thoughts.
It's just you and your thoughts.
Yeah.
When the door closes, I can hear, so like I'm in the hole at Corcoran, I'm in the SHU. And so I'm in the ASU, I'm in what they call Z unit. And there's a window that's just a slice. Right? Mm-hmm. It's a slice, a rectangle. It's standing up, and you go look out that window, and there's a white wall. And that's it, left and right. That's it. And I got another one of those slits in the roof, and every now and then I see the sun pass by. And Magneto shit.
Right.
And so I'm in this room, and the bed is a concrete slab built out of the wall, like a cave. They built out of concrete, and it has a mattress on it. And then the wall itself, where the sink is steel, and you have a sink in the toilet. And that was me in that room.
9 years.
And mail and some books. You know what I mean? And so I'm listening to people crack. I can hear the dude down there that can't take it no more. And I hear them running down there to go in. They got to come there.
He didn't kill himself.
They got to come with the shield and the masks on and open his door and go wrestle him. And maybe he smears shit all over his body and water all on the floor.
Just trying to get out.
Slippery. And they fighting. I can hear them down there. And next thing you know, they got him on Cinequan. He running around drooling. You know what I mean? So I can see the options. So the options were, I'm waking up in the morning. I'm going to say a prayer. I'm going to work out. I'm going to drink my coffee. I'm going to work out. I got my little pack of coffee, little steak coffee pack. And I'm going to work out. I'm going to take a bird bath. I'm going to clean up my mess. I'm going to get my reading in. I'm going to finish my reading. I'm going to write my letters. I finish that. I'm going to write me some songs. I finish that. I'm going to do some reading and go to sleep. And I'm going to do this. This is
just that was your routine, like a machine.
And I'm going to put in what I want to put in. So I started reading anything that had to do with Solomon, anything that had to do with Jesus, anything that had to do with Muhammad, anything that had to do with Buddha, anything that had to do with like John F. Kennedy, RFK, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. I'm constructing a father figure for myself.
Wow.
Out of historical figures and quotes and Winston Churchill, the most G. But what the fuck was wrong with Hitler? If was something wrong with Hitler, was he right?
Right.
Or was he tripping? I read Mein Kampf.
Right.
I read it.
Right.
Like, I want to know if I think you was tripping. Like, oh, yeah, my nigga was tripping.
Right.
My nigga was tripping a little bit. But I wanted to know. I wanted to understand historical figures. The Prince, Niccolo Machiavelli, everything that I could get my hands on. The Plato's Cave, the Socratic Method, fucking Malcolm Gladwell. When the Roots dropped the tipping point, like I did a deep dive. I went in a rabbit hole.
Right.
The tipping point. Oh, Malcolm Gladwell. Like, who the fuck's Malcolm Gladwell? What else did he write? And Freakonomics. I went from Freakonomics and got to tipping point, and then I got to Outliers, and Outliers changed my fucking life when I read that book.
So like being in the hole, like that's the approach people should take, but the other approach is you can't take it, and then you end up going crazy to try to get out to maybe go to the fucking, like if you end up
psych ward.
Yeah, because at least you're getting out.
Yeah, at
right?
least you got your pudding and you take your little pills and it's better than that. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. I didn't want nothing to do with it. I felt like they couldn't have my brain. Dr. Markle, I read what he wrote about surviving a concentration camp and what he had, that the last thing he had left when he didn't know if he was getting gassed tomorrow, all he could do is control what was going on in here and in here. That was it. Damn. And that's how I felt. Like I'm in the corner and I'm not going under the bed. So we got to fight if you keep coming this way. We're going to have to fight. I'm not going under the bed. You know, and it's a steel slab. You can't go under the bed anyway. So like it's a concrete slab. So that was my philosophy.